Hey guys, welcome. As always, welcome aboard. If you're new, welcome back. If you're not, welcome home. Depending on, of course, as always, where you happen to be in relation to these energies this week, this channel, all the good things. Let's talk about what's up this week. This week is the 27th of February through the 5th of March, 2023. 2 months in, right? A sixth of the year already gone. Fascinating. So on Monday, we start Monday with a first quarter moon, right? So we have the Gemini moon squaring the sun at 2:06 Central Time. So depending on where you are, make any adjustments necessary. After that, the moon sextiles Venus and Jupiter and Chiron, all in Aries. And then late in the evening, the moon conjuncts Mars. So here's the deal. Mind your intention, right? And the timing that allows you to be in creation and adjust things as needed. This, like I said, is a first quarter moon. So check back in with your new moon intentions, that Pisces new moon, see how that's going, and allow all of the possibilities to deepen as you make those adjustments. You have got the power to pivot or adapt in any way, right? So let your perception be very wide and let your expansiveness and your sense of capacity to expand be fully open, right? Just blow the doors off your apertures and be as your highest expression. You get to pioneer your future by showing up in the right now, right? I didn't see it, we can't take it. The 28th, which is Tuesday, the Gemini moon squares Neptune, trines Mercury and Saturn, trines both Mercury and Saturn, and then quincunxes Pluto in the evening before she moves into Cancer. So here's the deal. Find your focus and use your whole capacity, and you might find capacity for a breakthrough, right? You might find a way through your outer limit, your upper limit, your perceived limit, right? The potential to create a really functional long-term plan is only challenged by your ability to witness that plan today. So dig deep and then keep digging. Make sure that your heart is not only in it, but is center stage, right? That's really important because that's how we invite our, there we go, our growth, our potential, our change. We feel into it and the envelope widens, right? Wow. On Wednesday, the 1st of March, the Cancer moon trines the sun, squares Venus and Jupiter, and then Venus herself conjuncts Jupiter, right? So here's the deal. It's kind of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back sort of day. It might feel a little bit interesting. You may feel super invincible, and then the next minute you're kind of like knocked off your moorings, and then you're back to the top of the heap, and then so on and so on, right? So the themes of the day are 3D, your 3D experience, right? Home, you know, that overarching sense of homeness, right? What home smells like, looks like, tastes like, feels like, right? That felt sense of home, your expansiveness, and your ideas, right? They seem to be full of helium today, right? They want to float and get really big, but they might come out sounding like, instead, like you sucked the helium, right? So it's just an interesting kind of push me, pull you day. So the thing is, oh, I saw you, friend. I see you back there. So the key here is to stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane. And if you can encapsulate, if you can encapsulate yourself and make sure that you include your heart in that kind of insular energetic space, then the sweetness, right, that is on your tongue might be enough to sustain you through this day, which is going to feel a little bit interesting, right? So just do the cha-cha if you have to, right? Just put your heart in it and see what happens. On Thursday, the 2nd, the Cancer moon squares Chiron, sextiles Uranus, and then Mercury, which is in Aquarius, conjuncts Saturn right before Mercury moves into Pisces. And then that that Cancer moon is going to trine Neptune in the evening. So here's the deal. Whew. Venus, Jupiter, Chiron, a very tight little knit bunch. Mercury, Saturn, very tight little knit pair, right? So if you feel in any way tentative or reluctant or silenced, right, you may choose to remain guarded over being vulnerable today. That's okay, right? You might choose safety over doing. That is okay. You might choose doing over saying. Also okay. Or you might absolutely choose to put your entire heart and soul on the table, right? Either way, any of those ways, your safety is not an illusion, right? You may choose to remind yourself that you are always free to be in your fullest expression and that you are always safe. So if you have to write that down, I am safe, right? To remind yourself that it's not an illusion, go ahead and do it, right? Whatever it takes to remind yourself that it's okay. It's okay. And telling those new stories is absolutely a daring thing. So remind yourself in every single way that you need to. That's how we grow. On Friday, the 3rd of March, that Cancer moon quincunxes Saturn, opposes Pluto, and then the moon moves into Leo. Whoa, 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 I see you. And then Venus conjuncts Chiron in Aries, and the Leo moon quincunxes Mercury. So this is a day to breathe, right? Breathe, 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 breathe. You may be in witness to some triggers, some tension, some drama, right? Those old wounds might just pop right back to the surface, and they might surprise you. They might even shock you, right? They might be like, what in the, what? I did this, right? Here's the thing. When they pop through, you reach for them. You reach all the way down, right? It's all there. Don't avoid it. Don't pull your hand back because it's scary. Don't pull your hand back because something gross might touch you. Whatever it is, whatever that it is only going to fester. It's only going to grow. Sorry, I just had an Addams Family moment. Welcome it and claim it, because guess what? It doesn't matter how deep it is and how gross it is and what kind of freaky hair experimentation thing is growing on it. It is you. It's all you. So meet it. Find your triggers. Get to their roots fearlessly and fiercely, right? Saturday, the 4th of March, we have Leo moon all the way, all day, trining Jupiter, quincunxing the sun, trining both Chiron and Venus, and then squaring Uranus to round out the day. Those ghosts, all that tension is going to disappear. So if you want to roar, Saturday is your day. Get loud. Want to have a little romance? Do it. Want to have a little grandeur? Yes. You want to feel what feels like, that expanded sense of home? Yes, do it. You are telling the story in a whole new way today. Perhaps that creepy, daring mission that you went on yesterday pulling up your stuff really helps, because you're recognizing, right? You're finding a way to recognize that you are the star. You are the playwright. You are the director. You are the casting manager. You are the crew, right? Leave room for surprises. And here's the key. If you're going to roar, make sure that what you're roaring about is the thing that you want to conjure, because it's coming. Just make sure that it is really what you want and not just a thing to roar about, right? Purpose, purpose, find your purpose. On Sunday, the 5th of March, again, Leo moon, sextiling Mars, quincunxing both Neptune and Pluto, opposing Saturn, and then in the evening she moves right into Virgo. So here's the deal. What's beneath? What lies under, right? You have access, deep access, and not the passive witness kind, right? Not that we're watching the movie go by. No, we are queuing up for some really, really big shifts. So this is a day to really go deep. Find your find your sense of calm. Well, okay. Find your seat belts, right? And buckle up. This is a big giant theme, not only in my life, but in many lives right now. So here's the deal. Begin to learn to overlook anything that's not really relevant, anything that's not mission critical. Focus on your foundations. Focus on finding your footing. Focus on what you are doing, right? You are your habits. You are creating your, not just your experience, but you're creating your surroundings. You're creating your avatar. You are creating everything in your experience as you go. So create your habits, create the structure, and allow everything to come into that, right? Let's get at it. Monday, we have the Four of Cups. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Four of Cups is kind of like a card of maybe, right? The Four of Cups is a little bit of boredom. It's a little bit of disinterest. It's a little bit of being in your own feels to the point where you're not willing to look at something new, right? Maybe I'd rather wallow. Well, the Ace of Pentacles says, yeah, we're not doing that. No, thank you. So again, mind your intentions and the timing that allows you to be in creation and adjust as needed, right? If we have the power to pivot and adapt, but you have to open your aperture. You can't sit here and say, I just want to, but last time, no, it doesn't work like that. The Ace is coming in. Here's the deal. Aces are gifts from the universe. They are extended. You must take them gratefully and put them into action. You can't shove it in your pocket and say, maybe later. Doesn't work like that. So be as your highest expression. You are pioneering your future by showing up in the now, not avoiding, right? Pisces season, y'all. We can't afford to avoid our shit now. Tuesday, King of Wands, Four of Pentacles. King of Wands, this is a beautiful energy. This is like super potent, very passionate, very impulsive, like, yes, like this is the juice of life, right? And then we have the Four of Pentacles saying, maybe I should just hold on to this. No, no, no. King of Wands is saying we have plenty of energy. We have plenty of fire. We have plenty of passion, right? So we're focusing on our whole capacity and witnessing that place where we have room for a breakthrough. You don't get a breakthrough holding on. You don't get a breakthrough sitting there going, well, maybe not. No, no. Keep moving. Keep digging, right? Make sure that your heart is center stage, not your fear, right? Long-term plans, but you can't just sit and count your widgets and have anything come to you, right? Whatever you're sitting on top of, whatever you've got shoved in your closets, whatever you've got in your garage, in your rafters, in your basement, in your back room, in your trunk, it doesn't matter. It's time to start moving that energy, right? Keep digging. Make sure your heart is in it. And guess what? Your heart doesn't live in your closet. Your heart lives where you are. Wednesday. Okay, we've got the Chariot and we've got the Page of Cups. Chariot is balanced forward motion, right? So this is about how we move forward, love and logic, head and heart, right? This is how our thoughts and our feelings can guide us, but we have to make sure that we're rechecking both. Otherwise, what happens is we kind of veer off to one side or the other. Well, the Page of Cups is a new way, something coming into your field that will create a sense of emotional satisfaction, emotional contentment, right? Bring you a new way either to experience emotions in a relationship, not necessarily a love relationship, but in anything, right? You can love a dog passing by you on the street that shifts and changes your journey. So what we're talking about today is that kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? So always coming back to that sense of home, always coming back to your expansiveness, always coming back to your heart, so that the things that right, the big ideas that feel full of helium don't leave us ending up talking like Donald Duck because they're so conflated, right? So stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane if you can, and encapsulate yourself and your heart. Let the sweetness, right, of that feeling be enough for you today. Even if you feel like you want to veer out into traffic, maybe don't today, right? On Thursday, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. So the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, but he is the most sure. He is all about stamina, all about endurance, all about habit creation and getting things done, right? So this is a big theme right now. Now the 7 of Cups is all about, well, this might make me happy. I kind of like the idea of this. This feels like really interesting. So there's an element of confusion, right? So in any way that you're feeling tentative or reluctant, any way you're thinking about being guarded over being vulnerable, right? Any way that you're feeling like you might choose safety over daringness, like you might choose anything, right? Anything that doesn't have your whole heart in it. Yeah, we're talking about safety, right? You are safe, right? No matter what you choose, you are safe. So again, if you need to make yourself a little sticky note, go ahead and do it. I'll wait. Did you do it? Hang it up. Hang it up. I'm a big sticky note fan myself. So make sure you got that up there. Remind yourself, I am safe. I am safe. It's beautiful, right? You get it everywhere you want to go just by trusting that one next step. On Friday. Okay, so we have the 6 of Cups and we have the 10 of Cups. This is really interesting to me. So the 6 of Cups is that unconditional love, right? This is the love like you've never been hurt card. This is the place where unjaded is a real thing. Like, I'm going to trust you because you showed up and I should. This is nostalgia. This is the way that you experienced love or beauty or bliss for the very first time. And then the 10 of Cups is, look, I have created a life around that. We have created a life that extends that feeling into our everyday life, right? So we talked about this being a day that might feel a little tensiony, right? A day where we're going to breathe, where we're going to let those old wounds that pop up, we're going to recognize them, right? We're going to say, oh, wait, I see you, and I welcome you, and I claim you. You are part of me, right? There was never a time you weren't in service to me, and I witnessed that. I'm going to reach all the way down there and get all of this, and I'm going to bring it up, and I am going to integrate it, right? I'm going to witness you, and I'm going to say, you were safe the whole time, and I'm sorry you ever felt like you weren't. Let's make this happen, right? Let's bring this together and bring this big giant love, right? No triggers, no tension, no drama, just welcoming and claiming, right? We're not going to leave anything down there to pop back up and surprise us again. That's why we do the work. On Saturday, We've got the Two of Wands, we have got the Moon. So the Two of Wands, right, this is lovely. This is, again, about future planning. This is about making heart-based choices, spirit-led choices, right? Passionate choices, right? I'm going to dive in face first in my life, right? And then we've got the Moon. Well, the Moon is about intuition. The Moon could also be about what's hidden, right? So here's the deal. We talked about this as heart involvement, romance, grandeur, that big sense of home. Yes, I want to roar about it. But we said, make sure, please, that you're only going to roar about those things that you want to conjure, that you're inviting into your experience, because that Moon, she's always there. Even when you don't see her, she's listening, right? And so if you perhaps roar about something and it's not exactly what you want, you may end up having to rethink that later, which is fine. You can always remake a choice, but it's easier to be clear from the outset. On Sunday, we have got Justice and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so Justice is all about balance and harmony, right? This is that higher level equity. It's about really finding the balance, the rightness of a thing. And then the Three of Pentacles is a card of collaborative effort, right? This is how we learn, how we teach, how we practice, how we experience as a group, right? So again, we're talking about what lies beneath, right? Having access, and not the passive witness kind. This isn't we sit around, right? Neither of these are cards where we sit around. These are cards where we're in the process, right? We're weighing and measuring, we're balancing, we're actively choosing, right? How where our lever is, right? So again, we are queuing up for some very big shifts. Focus on your foundations, right? Make sure your foundations are solid, that your footing is sure. We talked about this as a time to do, right? Your habits, you're creating your habits. Make sure you have balance, not only in your practices, but in your collaborations, your relationships, in your everything. You are cobbling together the foundation of your experience. Make sure that it is not only balanced, leveled, but what you want. Now, here's the deal. When we talk about preloading, we always want to make sure that we're having a conversation about paying attention to what has come before, right? You always leave yourself messages. You always leave yourself little love notes. You always leave yourself little warning signals. Make sure that you are looking for them, right? Make sure you're looking, because they're there, I promise you. Now, let's have a conversation about the root girl, the disowned self. You know, I love this deck so much. It's so phenomenal. So let's see what she's got to tell us here. The disowned self, hidden beauty, the need for acceptance and love. The root girl sits shivering, unclean and naked, at the base of the tree of self. She has no home. She is unloved, unwanted, and shunned for her deformities. She has no home, but is safe burrowing underground to dwell near the deepest roots of this sacred tree. Who is she to you? Could this be the urchin that is one part of you, that reintegrated can lead you to wholeness and true purpose? Come on. This is a part of you, the embodiment of a deeply flawed perception of your failures, manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy onto others, or any emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out. You want to ignore it. You want to push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. But if you would only look into the root girl's eyes and see the beauty and the unmet need, your unmet need, you would realize that this part of you asks for your compassion, and your understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded. And you were conditioned to believe that you're not whole, that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have even inherited this from your ancestors. However, it was this child's self came to be curled up at the roots of your sacred self tree. It's time to welcome her into your heart. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated, and your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love Root Girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look for the beauty. I don't even feel a need to say a single word beyond, right? Say this with me. Heard. Okay, right? I feel like that is complete. So here's what I'm going to say. Big blessings. Have a great week. Really, by the way, big, giant things are happening in March. Big movements. So we'll have a conversation about that. Meantime, take care.